Can a laptop have the best and the worst specification at the same time? Today we're going to talk a bit more about the Asus Zenbook 14, UX425 and UM425. I'm W2Best, I make videos about tech, travel and inspiration, and if you like this kind of content, it would be super nice to see you as a subscriber to this channel. That helps me out a lot and gives me all the motivation to bring all the content moving forward the upcoming weeks and months. When I've been making my review series of the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7, I have been looking out for competitors that could match the Yoga Slim 7 and that are released now during 2020. One of the laptops that really caught my eye was the Asus Zenbook 14 UX425 and of course UM425, which is the model name for the Ryzen series. When I found this laptop, I was looking at the specification and I was like, is this really a real laptop? Can you fit all of this stuff into a 1.1 or a little bit heavier than 1.1 kilogram laptop? It just seemed a little bit too good to be true at first sight. At that point, I found a really good offer for the Intel i7 version with 32GB RAM and a 1TB SSD. And I was almost about to buy it when I realized it doesn't have a 3.5mm headphone jack. I think it's up to each and every one how important you find the 3.5mm combo jack on a laptop, but for me, I use laptops a lot for DJing and then I also listen to music a lot on the road. I think it's relatively okay to not have a 3.5mm headphone jack in a phone, but in a laptop, I just think it's not an acceptable thing to leave out of there. So I cancelled my plans to order this laptop and I decided to go with other stuff as well, mainly in the budget category. I wasn't completely sure about the decision though, so I decided to go to one of the local stores here that has the machine in stock. This is the UM425 version. So then I could feel the chassis and I could check out the keyboard, try typing a bit on the keyboard, and also get a bit of a feel for how bad would it feel to lose that 3.5mm jack. The overall quality feel that I got from the UM425 was really good. I really like the keyboard, even though it has a bit of those stretched out shift keys, as you can see here. I enjoyed typing on it a lot. The feeling of typing on it, I would say, is actually a bit better than on the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7. I don't want to make the specification check too long in this video, so I just want to briefly go through why I think this laptop is that interesting. It is available both with 4500U processor, 4700U processor, as well as an i7, and then it comes with Iris Plus graphics. So at least it's a bit better than Intel HD graphics, and you can usually do some light gaming on Iris Plus graphics. In the Intel versions, it is available with up to 32GB of RAM, which is something that you very seldom see on laptops in this form factor. 16GB non-upgradable seem to be pretty standard with Ultrabooks, and here you can get up to 32GB, which is quite future-proof. The screen has 400 nits of brightness, and it is a 1-watt screen, which consumes way less power than a normal laptop screen does. Sometimes they would be 2, 2.5, 3 watts, and 1-watt screen is just such a good battery lifesaver, and also with that high brightness, it's a really good spec. Asus has this concept called Asus Pure, which means that the laptop comes completely without bloatware. I've tried a bunch of laptops over the last few weeks, and they all come with antivirus softwares and different games pre-installed, and then they want you to install other utilities, and Microsoft throw Office 365 and things like this in there. It's just really nice to not have any of those things in a laptop and not have to start off your journey with the laptop by removing all the junk that the manufacturer has put on it. It is also stated that you can charge this laptop with any USB-C charger that can provide 4.5 watts of power or more. Just as a comparison, most laptops would need 45 watts of power to be able to charge, especially while they're on. 4.5 watts of power means that a lot of different USB-C power banks would be able to power this laptop, which is a great feature that I haven't really seen in any other laptops. Asus also puts the Numpad, the numerical keyboard, into the trackpad. This is a feature that I haven't been too much of a fan of, but I realized that if you're using it with an external mouse, it's perfect to have that numerical keyboard available, even if it is in a bit of a strange position compared to what you might be used to. The port setup is 2 USB-C ports or 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports on the Intel version. You get a full HDMI port, which is something I really need if I want it for any kind of business use. You get a micro SD card reader, which is also very good to have if you're using it for any kind of content creation. A few people would probably want to have a full-size SD card reader, but given how much they cram into this small body, I think it's very natural to see that it's a micro SD card reader. It also has one USB-A port, which is not enough for me with most of my use cases, but still it's better to have one than to have none. And then the magic ingredient of this laptop is the omission of the 3.5mm headphone jack. They do include a 3.5 to USB-C adapter in the box. But this doesn't really cut it for me, because if you're using that adapter, you are taking up one of the USB-C ports, which you could use for either DisplayPort or charging, and it's just not good enough to have a dongle that you need to remember to bring and need to switch between your different headphones. You can of course also use any external sound card, which would work perfectly to give you that 3.5mm headphone jack. Then you would need to remember to bring that, and it would also stick out quite a bit from the laptop in all your different use cases. And last but not least, it has a 67 watt-hour battery, which in combination with that 1 watt display will provide an insane battery life that I think would be some of the best in class, and probably quite a bit better than the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7 as well. It's also quite a bit thinner and lighter compared to the Yoga Slim 7. So given those things, and that it still has a super nice screen and a really nice battery life, it seems like the perfect competitor. But the omission of the 3.5mm headphone jack is just too big of a thing for me to spend the money to get this laptop to make a review series about it. From doing a quick hands-on and from checking out the specifications, I think this is a really interesting machine if you feel that you can live without a 3.5mm headphone jack, or you're willing to live dongle life. Then please go ahead and check this machine out and let me know what you think about it if you decide to get it. I'm really keen to get your input on it. I have a bunch of other interesting laptops coming up for reviews, so stay tuned to this channel if you want more of that content, and I will see you in the next video. Have a really nice day. Bye bye.